Yo, welcome back, squids and kids. This is Vapor here with DRF, bringing you the exciting Division 1 matchup between the Night Sharks and the Husky Splatsville Knights.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty fun matchup here. So for the record, this matchup has already concluded. However, the teams were able to compile these replay codes for us, so that way we can still be able to capture them before the inevitable update for Season 2 of Splatoon 3, I guess, the chill season. There we go. So we do want to take an opportunity to get this on footage before we ultimately lose those replay codes. So we're going to be going through those for you all. So if you have not been paying attention to the bracket, this whole matchup still is going to be a surprise. So this will be a fun one for sure, as we have the Husky Splatsville Knights, who are the number 2 seed coming out of Group A, taking on the Night Sharks, who have had a flawless season. I mean, like, they have gone 20-0 in individual games up to this point. And the question is, can the Husky Splatsville Knights put a stop to this push?
There's only one way to find out. As you said, Night Sharks, they've been on a streak. 4-0 PSU Blue, 4-0 UCSD Esports Gold, and those are only the first 2 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, and those are huge wins as well. So let's go ahead and start by diving into our game number 1, Splat Zones on Wahoo World.
This is going to be really exciting to watch here. Husky Splatsville Knights will be in the blue for you all. And starting things off here, the biggest and most interesting thing is this Splatana Stamper. Zipcaster as just paired up with that burst bomb, just so strong for a very strong main weapon. But one thing to note is that the Hydra splatling next to the Bamboozle.
Oh yeah, that's certainly a pretty interesting combination there. I mean, we do know Ollie for that bamboo, so no surprises there. But the combination is what makes this such an intriguing composition.
Definitely. And that's going to be the Hydra right in front from Barry, shutting the splash down, finding another pick as well. Trying to go to paint this zone. It's going to be Husky Splatsville Knights taking control. Here comes that Ink Zuka, paired up with that Booyah Bomb. Try to force a lockout here. Charger goes down. This Hydra is just going to hold this control right now. And watch it, that far left side, as here comes the Zipcaster.
Oh, and this Zipcaster could cause a lot of havoc here, but it is actually going to be a tied game for a moment there, as no, it's not going to be enough for the Husky Splatsville Knights of the University of Washington to get the lead. So they're going to have to put in a bit more work here to try to get this back in their favor, but they've done an excellent job so far. The Night Sharks have seemed almost unstoppable up to this point, but they're doing an excellent job of hanging with them, unlike any other team so far this season. So this should certainly come down to the wire.
Killer Whale as well, just zone out that crab tank, let it expire, but that's going to be the leader shutting them down, and a few fillets from behind, finding another pick. That's going to be the Night Sharks, 3 members up, as Husky Splatsville Knights just keep going down one by one. This E-leader is in such a power position right now, locks down anyone trying to push from the bottom.
And the crazy thing here is that the Husky Splatsville Knights were about a second away from taking the lead twice now in this game. And they've somehow gotten away, or the Night Sharks, I should say specifically, have somehow gotten away with excellent defensive stops here, and now they are expanding on that lead. They said, hey, you know, we had a couple of close calls here. Let's put this one away for sure.
leaders just chilling on this zone, and it's going to be this stamper from behind. That's going to be really dangerous as they still need to get the zone. Zone not switching at all, not even going into neutral. That's going to be the Night Sharks coming out with game number 1.
Wow, an excellent first game from the Night Sharks. Able to get it done here in game number 1. I mean, it was very, very close there. Like, these two teams matched up so well in the first half of this game. So that's going to be the Night Sharks taking game number 1, taking the early lead and continuing their clean streak through the season, 21-0.
And just powerful strength from the Night Sharks. 21-0 in the season, as you said, and on their bracket side, UCSD Gold was the other team to make playoffs, who are going up against Boilermaker Special in their semifinals matchup. But finding just sweeps against this UCSD Gold team and the Comet Blaster team knows that you need to know that they're a powerful team flat out, just by those results. But with this close of a game, it could just show that they're a consistent team.
Oh, absolutely. So, and that's going to be something that we're going to have to continue to watch out for here. The Night Sharks have just been so consistent. They've been, making some strides in low ink as well. So that's something to certainly watch out for beyond the CCA with this team. They've just been so good at their teamwork and coordination. Certainly continue to make a lot of noise here and outside the CCA. But let's go ahead and pivot our way to game number 2 now. After that knockout in game 1, the Night Sharks are up 1-0, and we are headed over to Clamblitz on Mahi Mahi Resort.
Clamblitz, Mahi. We said it before. It's a very small, and it can be a really one-sided, or it can be back and forth all the time. Let's see which one is going to be this time.
Taking a look at compositions here. What do we have here? So the Explo gonna be coming out here from Hack-On. And once again, a couple junior matches. The Dapples is an interesting adjustment.
This is a comp that we tried with TCS for a little bit. The Explo Rapid Pro combination. The chip damage and combo damage it can do together is absolutely insane. And with double backline, it's going to be hard to push up. But if you can, it can get shut down really easily. And just like this early on here, it's going to be Husky Splatsville Knights with that power clan getting first points on the board.
Yeah, so they're going to actually be the first ones in control here. Something that perhaps the Night Sharks are not quite used to. So that's going to be the first push, though, is a 1 and done. But look at this. It's 3 down. And it looks like the Husky Splatsville Knights are ready to strike again.
You need to wait for the basket to drop, though. They do get the score on the board and a few more additional clams. It's only the junior left alive. And the Rapid out of spawn now. Last to 1. Everyone is just coming in from that respawn with members under the ledge of the Night Shark spawn. They are in trouble right now. 26 remaining. They have a long way to go, and finding the pick on the Bamboozler plus the Dapples is going to be one way to open up a bush.
Yeah, wow. I mean, 26 remaining. So this is going to be a huge push needed from the Night Sharks, and they're going to get things kicked off with 2 power clams dropping in their favor. So an Army, look at this, is still somehow holding position here. Finally gonna get shut down. It looks like they their teammate went to go pick up that pity clam, and they're gonna try to hold position there, but just weren't able to do so. So now it's gonna close the gap. I think that's the most important thing right now for the Night Sharks, is that now this is much more workable of a gap to play with. And now they can just find one more push, possibly, close this lead further, maybe even take the lead themselves if they can get a couple of nice picks going their way.
Picks up that pity plan, and Man, the Husky Splatsville Knights are just getting shut down in this corner. They're getting pincer from both sides as well. This poking, the range that the Night Sharks have is just too much for them to handle right now, as well as that ink fact. They're going to get some more points on the board, popping, removing all of those penalty points, and what a toss! Almost getting more points.
Wow, what a stop though. Wow, they took down 3 players from the Night Sharks. They all followed up with that power clam, trying to get it in and take that gap from the current 34 that we're seeing down to simply 14 points, but weren't able to get that last power clam in. But now at the very least, that is going to shrink the penalty. So next time that the Night Sharks are able to get a push going, that will immediately add on to their scoreboard. But that's an excellent stop from the Husky Splatsville Knights. They got it done exactly what they needed to do there.
They have the tactical cooler as well, bubble ready to. If they could get the bubble set up near that basket, they'll be looking good. But they pop it in mid, play it defensively, and all this poking, explode, rapid, plus bombs from Junior Splash, just so much forced to back up. And it's going to be the Dapples rushing in, trying to get points on the board. That's 2 down, though, for the Husky Knights.
Oh, a huge stop there for the Night Sharks, as now this is going to allow them to very quickly get control of mid and start moving up. That's going to be 2 down on the side of the University of Washington. And here is the score. That's going to immediately add 10 more points onto their scoreboard. Able to find Ollie. That's a huge pick as well right there. A double. Here comes the next power clam as well. And that's going to be the lead. They need 2 more clams to win this game. And they're going to find them actually. Army with the nail in the coffin. My goodness, the Night Sharks bounce back and take game number 2.
Not just that, but the team play. One of the members of Night Sharks dropped into mid and threw clams up. Really good team play to finish off, as they didn't think they were going to get to the basket in time.
Wow. I mean, what teamwork there. You know, every push that the Night Sharks had was so clean. You know, with maybe the exception of that fumbled football there that fell into the hands of 3 different Night Sharks players. They every other push beyond that, well, besides that, I should say, was executed beautifully. You know, particularly what I was looking at was the vacuum into the bubbler. The vacuum just opened up the space right on that little cone for the junior to come in, drop the bubble down, and be able to get a nice sustained push going there. So an excellent job by the Night Sharks to come back from a massive deficit there to take game number 2, and now they have the Husky Splatsville Knights reeling.
They're on their toes, man. They're just on their toes. Next up is Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yeah, Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard is game number 3. However, we actually have lost that replay code. A little bit of miscommunication in getting that. The replay code ended up being invalid, and now the replay code doesn't exist anymore. So, so unfortunately, we do not have that. However, we do have the stats from that specific game. So we can go ahead and actually share with you all that game number 3, Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard, was actually a very, very close contest between these 2 teams. And by a score of 47 to 45. 47 to 45, a 2-point difference there. It's going to be the Night Sharks that actually take game number 3, and a pretty solid lead here, similar to what we saw in that semifinal from earlier.
Yeah. Well, let's do we have access to show these stats on screen?
Let's see.
Let's see. Can we do that in a quick and timely manner?
I can certainly see if that's doable here, real quick. 1 second. Yeah. There we go.
Oh.
So
yeah, this works.
for the record, taking a look at what we ended up seeing here. So a 47-45 game. Massive games there from both Billy and Hakon for the Night Sharks, able to put themselves in that double-digit KA, and huge stops there to slow down Nexus and Ollie. Ollie just continues to be one of those pivotal pieces for the Husky Splatsville Knights, and the fact that they were able to make them go 500 there, 9 KA for 9 deaths, I think that's really one of the focal points here.
And another thing is looking at Army, the Charger player, on the side of the Night Sharks. Only 3 deaths, 6 kills, 0 assists. That's a 2 for 1 K/D ratio, and that just shows that Husky Splatsville Knights were just struggling to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they not able to really get to that backline, and it is Sturgeon Shipyard, so that's completely understandable. Backlines flourish here, more so than any other map sometimes. So an excellent game there from the Night Sharks. But the Husky Splatsville Knights, they're sticking around. Every single one of these games has been really close, as we can see so far. So 3 games that the Night Sharks have stolen away from the Husky Splatsville Knights, and at this point, they need to find something, to get that slight edge to come out on top. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in an 0-4 deficit.
Yeah, find your way to reach that back line and just stretch, reach out. Zipcaster paired up with that killer whale that Ollie has might not be a bad idea, because you just need to get rid of that back line, get behind them, and displace them to what fits you the best.
Certainly. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and pivot our way over to game number 4. It's going to be tower control on Mincemeat Metalworks.
Yeah, that tower control Mincemeat. Controlling that right side is probably the most important. If you could get control of that right side, you can start moving the tower past that first checkpoint. And it even allows you to basically go up and touch your opponent's spawn.
All right, taking a look at the compositions here. It looks like teams are mostly sticking to what they have been running. I think the main adjustment here is Billy with the blaster.
Yeah, and that blaster isn't a bad switch either. Just move over to the blaster, chip around those angles, and on Mincemeat, where there is a lot of geometry, then use it to your advantage. Hit around those corners like they are doing right here, but getting collapsed from in front and the side. It's going to be next on the Dapple Doolies finishing that pick off.
Yeah, an excellent job there to maintain a little bit of mid control. The Husky Splatsville Knights doing an excellent job of maintaining life as well. Able to get a couple of nice picks, but continuing to play things safe as they now find themselves with a 3v2 numbers advantage. This could be an opportunity for them to grab this tower, but it seems like they're a little bit hesitant at this time. And they might actually end up paying for this, as the Dapples are going to go down. That's going to be a delayed 3 down now for the Splatsville Knights.
Blastic just trying to poke around, Bamboo goes down, and everyone else just gets out. Last members are up on that flat area, but no, the Splash is struggling to get back up on this tower. They find one, pop the crab, they get the checkpoint, but outside of that, they're just struggling to stay alive. Crab ends up going down, and they are still alive, unscathed.
I don't know how Toast lived through that. Toast should not be alive right now. Finally going to go down, but not without trading with one of the members of the University of Washington. So a great push there. I mean, the crab movement was unlike anything I've seen there so far.
Really good pick by the Stamper as well. And just the combos that the Stamper can do, paired up with that burst bomb. Unfortunately, Squid rolled back into a bomb from the Junior, though. Just try to control mid. Bubbler ready to go, but you can't really make a push against the Charger when you go one down, forced to jump back out. And this is where things are going to go downhill, especially with that blast radius from the range blaster poking around those balls.
Oh, an excellent job there. To just maintain some pressure, and it looks like the second checkpoint going to fall. No, they're going to fall just shy of claiming that second checkpoint. So a great stop there from the Husky Splatsville Knights, as now they're going to be able to ride this tower at least back to neutral, trying to capitalize on the numbers advantage that they have right now. Two of their members starting to push up. It's going to be Ollie that continues to ride this tower up to that first checkpoint, utilizing this killer whale to try to displace that E-leader, which is going to be a crucial piece for them to have to deal with in order to clear this first checkpoint. And actually, it's going to be the Crab that's coming out to assist as well, but Ollie somehow staying alive through the checkpoint.
They did go down to the leader, but they get the checkpoint. That's worth the trade right there. And just this E-leader poking from the top. This is what you don't want to see if you're on the side of the Husky Knights. Especially with the blaster poking around those corners. It's really hard to hide. And the Zuka goes down too.
Oh, nice. 2 down there. But no, it's going to be 2 down on either side. The killer whale gonna slow things down as well, but my goodness, look at Billy on a tear here. A nice double as 2 members of the Huskies end up just walking right into that blast radius, end up getting directed there, and it looks like Billy's not done yet. Finally gonna get shut down.
Wavebreaker finding a few marks there. Dapples pushing all the way up into the face of the Charger, trying to find one, and they do find the Splatoon, the Stamper, but they didn't find the Charger. The Charger is more dangerous right now for the Husky Knights, and the Charger's already set back up and finding a really good shot to the shot.
Oh, that was a filthy pick.
Oh my goodness. With the Wavebreaker ready to go. E-leader just sitting here on the top of the plat. Bamboo trying to find the pick and just avoiding all the shots, bombs, everything that comes right at the Charger. Just get him away. Charger just avoids everything. Splatoon the Stamper is there, getting shut down, and that's going to be game for the Night Sharks.
Wow. I mean, these games continue to be close. I do think that was a much better game for the Night Sharks, actually. These games have been pretty close so far, and this is probably the best showing that we've seen from them yet. So an excellent job there from the Night Sharks. I think they're really starting to figure out this Husky Splatsville Knights team more and more. And even though they've still won the previous 3 games, this was their best game of the set at this point.
The poking from the blaster and the poking from the whole team is just so strong, so powerful. They didn't even let the Dapples shark or hide anywhere without poking themselves out.
Sorry, my apologies here, trying to get the scoreboard back here. There we go. So that is going to be 4 games in favor of the Night Sharks as we look to a decisive game 5. It's going to take the Husky Splatsville Knights a reverse sweep in order to come back here and punch their ticket to grand finals. But the Night Sharks 24-0 on the season, 1 game away from going to grand finals and looking at a matchup between the winner of Boilermaker Special, who has also had a nearly perfect season, dropping 1 game to MSU off of a disconnect. But Boilermaker Special has to still get through UCSD Esports Gold, and that's going to be a fun, renewed rivalry between 2 of the oldest collegiate teams in the scene. So that's going to be a fun one to watch whenever that one takes place. But first of all, the Night Sharks have to win 1 more game before they can start anticipating who's going to win that match.
Yeah. and they need to do it on Splat Zone's Inkblot Art Academy, which honestly I would say is in their favor. They have the E-Leader player ready to go, have the E-Leader set up top mid. What can you really do about it? The best thing they can do with their team comp is wail them out with that Bamboozler.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think that's going to be, the best option for them there. We have also seen them bring out Explo, so they could pivot to that as well. So, they're gonna have to figure out how to sort of deal with that backline. They've been running the Crab Tank as well. I think the Crab Tank has been really even more of a menace than anything else. So they're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with the Splash more than anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, but finding the Splash, keep those Crab Tanks off the field. Like, Crab Tanks have about the same range as a Charger, if not more than.
All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into this one. It's going to be game number 5, Splat Zone's Inkblot Art Academy, with the Night Sharks up 4-0.
Right, and we do see the Explo in over that Charger, but that still doesn't change the fact that the Bamboo still needs to find a way to get that Explo out of the top mid or wherever we see it. But the double Crab Tank from the Night Sharks here is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, Crab Tank just... I feel like, we've said this before, every team needs a Crab Tank at this point in the game. But look at this. It is going to be the Husky Splatsville Knights that are able to get 3 down here, and that's going to be shutting down the Night Sharks, who are able to get 19 points, but losing the numbers that they lost right now. This is going to be an opportunity for this lead to flip, and the Husky Splatsville Knights are going to be able to get a more meaningful push here, actually.
Popping that Zuka, keep him back for a little bit longer. Will ready to go. Here comes the storm from the Explo. Night Sharks trying to make their push back in, but the Splatsville Knights are just holding them back. Paint the zone as much as you can. Get all the possible points. Explo going down. Crafting from the right side. Ollie trying to survive here. Unfortunately going down to the burst shot. But man, finding another pick is the Splash. And we talked about how good Crab Tank is. We've seen it already, but the point count doesn't show it. Splatsville Knights have the lead all the way down to 19 remaining.
And we've seen the Night Sharks climb out of big deficits already in this set. Can they do it one more time to work their way into grand finals of Division 1? They're in a great position right now. The Crab Tank coming out trying to look for a couple of picks. They have a slight numbers advantage as the 4th member coming out of spawn from the University of Washington, but it's going to be the Night Sharks that lose a member here. The bubble coming out as a beautiful use of this killer whale is gonna find 3, and my goodness, what a shutdown by Ollie and the Husky Splatsville Knights.
Oh man, that whale was perfect. You cannot have a better perfect time special combination than that whale and bubbler usage. Bubbler zone everyone out of that one side, finish him off with a whale after you get a few chip damage onto them. Husky Knights are looking really good right now. About 10 more points left of penalty, but they do end up going 1 down, zone getting neutralized.
Wow, and somehow the Huskies, the Night Sharks, my apologies, are able to work their way in once more, and they now have the Husky Splatsville Knights staggered. And this is where things get really dangerous if you are the Huskies. You don't want to let them have you staggered here, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're already almost out of this penalty, so now you need to be very smart here. You need to work your way back towards the zone. This killer whale is going to get things started for them. They're able to find one, but they lose one themselves. And now this is going to be the lead exchanging in favor of the Night Sharks. This zone so close to neutral, but they need to stay alive here, able to do so, finally get that neutral position, but they can't let this zone go. If they let it go, it is most certainly over. And now it's going to be Nexus that's able to find a pick there, and that's going to do it. That's going to flip it back into favor of the Huskies, and they buy themselves another minute.
Yeah, they saved themselves for now, and in this meta, this is a Splat Zone knockout heavy meta, where you can rarely see a Splat Zone's game not go to a knockout, and having the Expo just paint everything is one thing that's definitely helping the Night Sharks. But with this Whale and the team coordination, special combinations from the Husky Splatsville Knights, it's keeping them in the game. They still hold this zone, at least for the moment, and it's just getting contested back and forth, neutral, back in favor of the Knights. And this lead is about to flip.
No!
The Night Sharks holding on to it, but they go 3 down. But that just applies a bigger penalty onto the Husky Knights.
There is no way that the Night Sharks 3 times this set have gotten away with a 1-point lead.
Night Sharks are just holding it. 10 seconds left on the clock, and the Husky Knights just need to paint this zone. Expo's down, and this gal trying to rush into the bubble, find the pick, but they're 2 down. Zone won't be capped, and no overtime left on the board. That's going to be the Night Sharks with a 1-point save.
There is no way that the Night Sharks pulled this off 3 separate times in this set. Getting away with these 1-point saves. That is absolutely incredible. I don't think I've seen anything quite like it. It seemed like the Night Sharks were so vulnerable in this set compared to the rest of the season that they were down in most of these games at some point, and time again, every time they fought back, they got the lead, and then 3 separate times able to shut down the Huskies right in the nick of time to make it a 1-point game in their favor. And they just continued to buy themselves enough time for that clock to run out and for them to run away with each of these games and the set.
Yeah. They clutched up when they needed to clutch up. They needed to get the zone right when they did. They did it. Even though they went 3 down, they applied the penalty. They got a huge penalty onto the Night Sharks as well. And just hold the zone in neutral as long as you can. Really good play by the Night Sharks, but man, that has to be heartbreaking if you're the Husky Splatsville Knights in that one.
I mean, it certainly is heartbreaking. Like, you had them in every single game at some point. And the Night Sharks, I'm pulling some sort of magic voodoo here to pull off each of these comeback victories. Like, you kind of just left your head scratching. You're like, wow, like, what could we have done different? The Night Sharks just did everything. They pulled off exactly what they needed to do every single game of this set.
Not just set, but we have to give it up to the Husky Splatsville Knights for the consistency that they pulled out throughout the entire set. They just played consistent throughout the entire set, but the Night Sharks were just able to find that one opportunity to pull ahead, and they took it.
Yeah, I'm like, every single game here was so close. The score is going to go down in the record books as 5-0 in favor of the Night Sharks. But the Husky Splatsville Knights, I mean, give yourselves a round of applause. Both of these teams are new to the collegiate scene. And the Husky Knights, I'm like very impressed. They definitely have just continued to improve throughout this season. And certainly I think that they're going to continue to make some noise in the collegiate scene. And if they continue to play together elsewhere, if that's something they choose to do, it's something to look forward to as well.
Definitely. And on the other side of the Division 1 bracket, you have Boilermaker Special versus UCSD Esports Gold. Do we have any idea when that is going to happen?
Thanksgiving has certainly been in the way for a lot of these teams to schedule their semifinals matchups, so that'll probably be taking place during the week next week. We do have our championship weekend, December 3rd and 4th, where we will be streaming all grand finals matches. So the teams basically have until then to get that done. So we will certainly keep an eye out for that. But you know, we'll try to get as many of these semifinals matches on stream as possible. But the Night Sharks take this set 5-0. They did also include one more game for us. They said that they played all 9, but they decided to have a little bit of fun right at the very end. Splatzone's Mako Mart and said, "Hey, here's this game. We had a lot of fun with this one. If you want to show it, go for it." And you know what? I would love to see it. So yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look. Game number 9 for fun, especially since we missed out on game 3. Splatzone's Mako Mart.
Hey, but we love fun. Well, we had fun last set as well with Squids at Cal and Astra. So let's have some fun here. Yo. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So what is this? Is this a 4 of me versus 4 of Kraken?
Basically, we got the four explodes versus the 4 refluxes. The Explo is a better made weapon in of itself, but the Reflux does have all those missiles, so I wholly anticipate that I'm gonna. Ooh man, it's Splatzone Zone. I don't know. I'm tempted to say that the Refluxes probably have more favor here, but I guess if the main weapon should be more favorable than the special itself.
Yeah, I just by weapons, I would personally favor the Explo, just because of how much it paints and how much suppression it can put down, even with Storm. 2 down on the Explo side though, which is the Night Sharks, Husky Splatsville Knights using the Reflux, and that's going to be a quick 2 down on each side. 3 down on the side of Husky Splatsville Knights. Missiles ready to go, unable to find a pick there. That's going to be Billy finding 2 members, one of them being a jump in, staggering out the members of the Splatsville Knights.
Oh man, this is gold right here. It looks like these missiles have multiple. Oh my goodness! No. I don't know how many missiles that was at once that came out from the Huskies, and they completely scattered the members of the Night Sharks, and were able to take back control of this zone. So now they're gonna be erasing this penalty here and adding points onto the scoreboard, closing the gap here. But taking a look, it's Ollie that's struggling to get out of there. Finally able to do so. Not able to do so, as Billy's going to shut them down. That's going to be 3 down yet again. And it looks like the Huskies, once again, they're going to go and just go back to the drawing board, go back to your base, and build up some missiles. If you can launch 4 sets of missiles at them at once, oh man, then you'll be able to get right back into that zone.
Harry trying to go around as well, trying to get behind on the zone, and they do get the cap, applying a really good penalty onto the Night Sharks. But all these Explo shots are just so powerful. Really good pick with that Storm onto one of those Reflux. And all these missiles will just stagger out, make the members of the Night Sharks move. But the Husky Knights are just unable to find any picks to go along with it, as all these Explos on this really good slosher geometry is just so strong.
And here comes one more set of missiles trying to dislodge the members of the Night Sharks. But no, it's going to be 2 down. Some good Explo shots there. And no, that's going to be enough to neutralize the zone. But no, they don't have the numbers to cap it. And that will do it. It's going to be the Explos winning out against the Refluxes.
We love Expo. Or at least I do.
And Nex is sharing with us here in chat that they were gonna do Octo Explo, but unfortunately one of the members of their team did not actually have that handy, so they ended up going with the reflux option instead, which I honestly think made that a much better game. We had the question of which is better, the X-Splosh or missiles.
I mean, I did bring up the point earlier where we said where we said we should have 4 Tri-Sloshers and 4 Blasters.
Yeah, no, I agree. That I think that's actually a good idea to have some teams test in the future. So take notes, CCA teams. Vapor and I are eager to answer that burning question.
We got you guys.
So a phenomenal set there, capped with a very fun game 9, or game 5/6, depending on how you want to look at it in this set. So first of all, thank you to the Night Sharks and the Husky Splatsville Knights for sharing their replay codes with us, so that way we can go ahead and get this match on stream. We greatly appreciate it. We want to continue to do our best to document as many of these matches as possible. So again, thank you. But congratulations to the Night Sharks for continuing your perfect streak through this season. 25-0 on the season going into playoffs. Have not dropped a game going into grand finals. So whoever meets them there is certainly up for a very big challenge. And it is going to be an absolute fun one to watch.
Yeah, they're going to go up against either Boilermaker Special of Purdue or UCSD Esports Gold of the University of California at San Diego Esports. So it's going to be exciting. There's only one way to find out, and that's to figure out who wins that match first. Where can the viewers find you at DRF?
You can go ahead and find me at DRF_Splatoon, and hopefully on Twitch soon, Triton DRF. You'll probably find me more on this Twitch channel, actually, CCA_Splatoon. So yeah, that's where you'll go ahead and find me. Vapor, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can the viewers find you?
You guys can find me over at Twitter and Twitch at V4P0R_SPL. We want to thank you guys for watching the CCA League playoffs, starting out with Squids at Cal versus Hofstra Pride, and then into the Night Sharks versus Husky Splatsville Knights. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for supporting your fellow collegiate Splatoon players. This is CCA, brought to you by MSI.